Hi there, my name's Alan and welcome aboard. This is my boat called Swamp Duck. She is an 18-foot cabin cruiser and she was built in 1973 to go on the canals and rivers. At 2 meters 8 centimeters wide, she is narrow enough to go on the UK canals, and with a 25 horsepower outboard engine, powerful enough to travel on the UK rivers. In this video, I want us to understand the differences between canals and rivers. Here, Swamp Duck is on a canal. Here, Swamp Duck is on a river. My boat is kept here in a marina with lots of other boats. The marina is connected to a river, the River Trent. The River Trent is the third largest river in the United Kingdom at 185 miles long. Its start, known as its source, is 275 metres high up on Biddulph Moor in Staffordshire near to Stoke, and then it flows steadily downwards through Nottingham to its end, known as its mouth, on the Humber estuary at the top right-hand corner of this map. Rivers are natural. They are formed when rain falls in the hills and flows down to the sea. Rivers can be navigable. That means you can sail a boat on them, or they may not be. They might be too fast flowing, with waterfalls too rocky or too shallow. rivers were here before people. Whenever I leave the marina by boat, I first of all have to head out to the Trent, where I then turn left and go in the direction of the current. Water flowing downwards always produces a current, and depending on how much water there is will depend on how fast the current is flowing. Sometimes the current can be too strong to take swamp duck out. The swamp duck seems to be going quite fast at this point. That's because we're going downstream and the speed limit is 8 miles per hour, whereas going back upstream it is 6 miles per hour. And when we actually get onto a canal, it drops down to 4 miles per hour. The engine would have to work a lot harder on the way back because we would be going against the force of the current. You can see that the river is quite wide at this point. That bridge ahead is called Long Horse Bridge and has a span of 52 metres, which makes the river round about 50 metres wide at that point. There are some canals in the United Kingdom that are as wide as that, but very few. The water levels on rivers change depending on how wet it's been. When we've had a lot of rain, the water levels will rise, and in hot, dry summers, the water level will go right down. I am now turning the swamp duck left towards the entrance of the Trent and Mersey Canal. The engine is going to have to work very hard as it is cutting across the current. When I reach the canal, there is a lock. The reason for this is that the level of the canal is much higher than that of the river. I have to open the lock gate and drive the boat into the lock chamber, close the gate, and it's a little bit like putting a boat in a lift. Water pours in and the level of the water rises and brings the boat to the same level as the canal water. This one is a big lock. There's a lot of water and I'm keeping the boat well back. The Trent and Mersey Canal is 93.5 miles long and it runs from the River Trent at Shardlow to the River Mersey. It has 76 locks which raise or lower the level of the canal. Canals were built by people. They were built to carry goods on boats from one place to another. The water to fill canals is pumped into them from reservoirs, from springs and from underground. Canals do not have a natural current, which is why it's much easier for swamp duck to get along on a canal at 4 miles per hour. Canals are kept at the same level by taking away the water that's not required. This is done by a series of weirs and drains. There is a third type of inland waterway where a river has been made wider and deeper to transport goods. These are called navigations. In this episode, we have found out that rivers are natural. They have a current. Their levels change. Canals are made by people. They do not have a current. The water stays at the same level. I'm going to leave you with 6 pictures of canals and rivers. Can you spot which are which? Answers will be given in the next episode. Thank you for watching.